Hey guys, welcome back. You're here because adventure is necessary. That's what we believe. Today we're gonna make it even easier for you. Drawer systems. Now, if you know me, you've heard about drawer systems, you know what a drawer system is, but if you're just getting started in adventure travel, you may start to hear about drawer systems, and that's because drawer storage in your adventure vehicle can be a game changer. If you don't know me, my name is Michael. I founded Overland Bound a few years ago. We are a worldwide community of adventure travelers. There's over 30,000 of us now worldwide. We're here to help you, whether you're on an adventure or planning one. Now, drawer systems. We're going to talk about a few different categories today. First, we're going to talk about general considerations that you might want to think about before you design or consider a drawer system. Then we're going to talk about some of the options that are out there, some high-end options, some middle-end options, and that's going to lead us into our final topic today, and that is maybe you have a super custom application, or maybe you just want to build it yourself. We're going to talk about how you would go about designing your own drawer system and building it. All right, let's go outside. We're going to stand in front of the truck. We're going to talk about general considerations. All right, you guys. Hey, so considerations for a drawer system. One thing to keep in mind is the quality, cost, time triangle, right? What fits for you? If money's no object, that's going to steer you in a certain direction. If you've got more time than money, that's going to steer you in a certain direction. If you want to do it yourself, also the quality. So you should calibrate on that first and then start thinking about the vehicle specific options for your drawer system. There's some myths out there I would also like to dispel for you so you don't fall into a trap, okay? So first of all, a drawer system is going to be about 200 pounds. There you go. Can you handle it? How much stuff do you take with you? That's a primary consideration because your vehicle is designed for a certain load limit and your vehicle has a certain center of gravity. The higher that drawer system is or the higher your storage is, the more destabilizing that drawer system is going to be when you're out there on the trail. And believe me, you can feel it in the seat of your pants. So make that drawer system down as low as possible because there's going to be quite a bit of weight in there. Now, is 200 pounds a good rule of thumb? It depends on the vehicle. Are you going to fill the entire interior of a van with drawers? Well, clearly it's going to weigh more than that. Just do your research and make sure you're not overloading the vehicle's capabilities. While we're on the weight subject, let me talk about one of those myths, okay? Hey, I want to do it out of extruded aluminum because it's going to be lighter than steel. Here's the deal. You might save, depending on the size of your drawer system, you might save 5 pounds, 10 pounds, but the reality of using extruded aluminum has a lot of implications and weight isn't the reason to do it. Why? Because extruded aluminum is expensive. It's expensive, and in order to have a custom drawer system out of extruded aluminum, you have to buy lots of little parts, and it's not the length of aluminum that costs the money. You can buy sticks of extruded aluminum for relatively inexpensively, but it's all those little brackets and bolts that cost the money, and you can be hundreds of dollars into parts with extruded aluminum, but if you make it out of steel, weld it out of stainless steel, the cost is tens of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, and the weight isn't that much more, but you need a welder or you need a buddy who can weld. But don't use weight as a reason to go with extruded aluminum versus welded steel. There are just other more important considerations. What's your drawer system going to be made of? Consider the quality triangle again. Multiple options. I'll try and bullet point them so we can keep it clear in our head. You can make things out of bamboo, which is expensive, but it's very durable. You can make things out of plywood, and the difference isn't that great. You can save quite a bit of money. Or you can make the things out of milk crates. And I'm not being funny. You can make a good drawer system out of milk crates. In fact, my first drawer system headed on down to Baja was about 6 milk crates and a 4x8 sheet of plywood. And that's all it was. I cut it with a saw, I assembled it with some simple brackets, and it was fantastic. It was also my sleeping platform. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. Now, next week, if you guys tune in, you're gonna see the final video of the drawer system. And when you look at it, you're gonna be like, did you go a little overboard there, dude? But no, the fact of the matter is, considering quality, budget, and time, it fit, and I had great help from Parnell. So again, you have to consider what resources you have access to and build a drawer system for that. So we're gonna show the full range of drawer systems, from something that is easy, on budget, and something that might take you a little bit longer and is more elaborate. Now here's a pro tip, you guys. Start with the refrigerator. Just think about it that way, because the refrigerator really does become a hub that your drawer system is built around, whether you're going custom or you go and buy a deck system, something like Goose Gear, something that's prefabricated. It's still going to start around your requirement around refrigeration. If you have a small unit, that might be able to fit in a drawer. If you have a large unit, then you're gonna have to build the drawer system around that refrigerator, especially in smaller interior spaces like the FJ80 that we have. You're gonna have to plan around the refrigerator. So do you require refrigeration, and then go from there. If you don't require refrigeration, you'll have more drawer space. But that's a primary consideration if you know you're gonna include a refrigerator in your build. One of the challenges you guys are gonna face if you plan to build one on your own is the slides. The slides for your main drawer, those things are expensive. Like $200 for those slides. Here's why. Because you want to be able to pull the drawer out the entire length of the drawer, and you need it to support 200, 300 pounds. So those slides are relatively expensive. Consider that in your cost. If you have a really nice new truck, like my friend Mike, and your drawer system is going to be on the outside of the vehicle, well, then maybe a decked system or something like that, because you don't have to drill holes in your brand new vehicle, and the materials are all weather. So they can be outside 100% of the time. Not only that, but you can pull that system out relatively easy. So think about how permanent you want your installation to be. Depending on the type of adventure that you go on and the type of vehicle you have, you're gonna have to pick materials that fit. So the FJ80, you guys have seen, I do a fair amount of rock crawling, sometimes intentionally, sometimes by accident, but we're bouncing down the trail. And especially in Baja, if you guys have ever been down a washboard in Baja, it will rattle your truck apart. So if you're gonna be doing that kind of activity, you need a material that is going to be super strong and it's not gonna come apart. Whereas if the capabilities of your vehicle is not going to allow you to do that, if you do have like a Subaru Outback or even a 2-wheel drive pickup where you're not gonna be rock crawling, you can do something that is not quite as robust. That's gonna affect your budget and the material that you choose. Do you want your drawer system to be a sleeping platform? Do you need your drawer system to do anything else? I need my drawer system to hold a refrigerator. I know that I'm going to be storing everything inside the vehicle, so I need to be able to strap cargo against my drawer system. Just think about your special considerations. Work this out on paper before you start building. If you have access to computer software, don't be afraid of that. You guys, I picked up AutoCAD Fusion 360 and I was messing around with ideas in just a few minutes. So don't be afraid of the 3D software, even if you don't have any experience. You can learn it, you can do it. I highly recommend you work this all out on paper to save yourself a lot of time, iteration, and possibly expense by avoiding some mistakes. Work things out in design as much as you possibly can, because that is free. And if you don't have access to a computer, 3D software, but you have a teenager playing Fortnite, I'll bet they can do it for you. Hey, if you guys are liking the video, like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about adventure travel, head on over to overlandbound.com. Learn about this emblem, what it stands for. We'd love to have you as part of the crew. All right, now we're going to talk about what's out there. And I'm not going to talk about all of the different options that are out there, but this is at least going to get you started in your drawer system research. We got 4 things to talk about for 4 slightly different use cases and different costs as well. Let's say you have a Tacoma, or you have to take a random example, brand new Ford F-150 Raptor. You want to cut holes, you want to go out there and you want to buy something that's available. That would be the decked system. So the decked system is a really awesome option for trucks. They also have some van options and other configurations as well. But that system is good because it comes in at the medium price point. It's around $1,200 and it has an all-weather material, so it can be on the outside or the inside. And I'll tell you this, it is very durable. All the systems I'm talking about, I've seen in person. And if I've seen a system that I don't like or I don't think it's going to last, we're just not going to talk about it in this video. So the deck system is a really good system. Now, the other one that is about the same option is the ARB system. The ARB system is meant to be universal. You can say what kind of vehicle you want and it'll fit in that type of vehicle. Now, it is specifically built for interior use. For the inside of an SUV like the Toyota Land Cruiser, I could have gone that route. And again, it's around the $1,200 price point. Now, let's address the overland tax. You guys may hear that, right? Overland equipment is expensive. Well, let's take a look at that from another angle. What we do is extremely hard on gear. You guys will break gear. You'll break axles, you'll break transmissions, you'll break vehicles, and you'll break drawer systems. One of the things that you could consider, I'm not saying it's right for you, but consider buy once, cry once, because it's gonna last. And so when we talk about overland specific gear, I cannot emphasize enough how extreme a mild adventure is going to be on your gear. And that's why these systems are more expensive. Now that we're talking about more expensive, let's take a look at a couple of other options. There's a system out there called Trexbox. I've seen it in person. Man, what a nice piece of kit. They've got a great drawer system option that holds a large full-size refrigerator. That system starts at $5,000. And so it is great. It's turnkey. Again, if you think about that triangle, quality, money versus time, and you have, unlike most of us, if you're fortunate to have more money than time, then you could buy a system like the Trexbox and you would be good to go. The quality would be high, the time would be little, and the price, therefore, would be high, right? That's how that works. But it's a very good system. And the other option out there is Goose Gear. Now, Goose Gear is a good option if you have a custom build, because Goose Gear will pretty much make anything you want, whether you have a van, an RV, a SUV-based adventure platform like this FZJ80 or any other kind of vehicle. Goose Gear is going to have something for you. Again, the price starts fairly high for durable drawer system equipment that's going to last, bombing down the washboards down there in Baja. Now, if these options aren't right for you, you have a custom configuration, maybe you have some time, you just want to do it yourself because you want to do it the way you want to do it, then you can consider building a custom drawer system. That's what I did. Let's talk about that briefly. All right, let's circle back to the time, quality, money triangle here as well. If you have not a lot of time and not a lot of money, go on down to the hardware store, get yourself some 2x4s and some plywood, put something together, and you're hitting the trail very quickly. Make sure it's secure in your vehicle. Now, that same triangle applies to the materials that you choose. You can go with bamboo, you can go with plywood. The choices are really limitless. You have to start out from a point that fits for you. And a final recommendation, if you remember one thing, measure twice, measure 3 times, cut once. It is gonna save you a huge amount of heartache. So measure twice and cut once. Now, you guys, really good time to join into this channel in this series about drawer systems. If you guys haven't seen my entire series on the drawer system, we've got 7 videos about the drawer system. And next weekend, like and subscribe once again, because next weekend we have the final episode of our custom drawer system. That'll be going out on Sunday. All right, you guys, thanks again. Till next time, outfit and explore.